She's a homemaker, don't you know? She'll teach you how to cook and sew, and how to wield a hammer. It's the June the Homemaker Show. Hello, and welcome to the June the Homemaker Show. I'm your host, June the Homemaker. Today we are going to be making bread, which is a thing that I do not know how to do at all. I am joined by Nathan G.H. Shlivovitz, who is going to help me make a loaf of bread. Tell me a little bit about why you like this recipe better than other bread recipes.
It's really simple. A lot of bread recipes, first of all, they take a while. This one takes 3 hours or so. The first bread recipe I tried, you had to let the bread sit out overnight, and that wasn't a whole lot of fun. Also, a lot of bread recipes call for special kinds of flour. If you go to the supermarket, you can find bread flour, wheat flour, rye flour, all this stuff. It's fun to experiment, but I wanted something that was really simple, that was easy to remember, easy to play with. The only real ingredient that you have to go out and buy for that you don't usually have is the yeast, which every bread pretty much needs. All you need is sugar, salt, yeast, and regular flour.
And water.
And water.
So baking bread in the desert, a little bit hard.
Once you get the hang of this recipe, it's really easy to play around with it. You can add different spices, you can add cheese. I'm going to do one today with jalapeno and cheddar. It'd be really cool.
And I'm going to make a normal one because I've never done this before. And as you've probably noticed by watching the show previously, I make a lot of mistakes. Step 1.
We're going to put some sugar and yeast in here, and we have to let it proof. What that means is we have to get the yeast to become active, know that it's alive and kicking.
I have always thought that it was extremely bizarre that bread was made out of tiny things that were alive. So this is a teaspoon of sugar. Not only helps the medicine go down, but also helps you bake bread.
And a tablespoon of yeast in there. When you are mixing anything, you put the dry ingredients first, and then you put the water in second. It helps mix it all up. With warm water.
It says 3.
So 3 cups of warm water.
You're the one who knows what he's doing. Waiting for the water to warm up. I'm infringing copyright while I'm waiting for the water to warm up. Ooh, but I'm in trouble now. So how warm is warm?
Warmer the better. Yeast likes a warm environment. That's probably warm enough.
The kind of warm that this is right now, bathtub warm. If it runs bathtub warm, then that's warm enough. Okay, there's 2. Whee! So it's okay to be a little bit over.
Yes.
But not okay to be a little bit under.
That's true. Now we have to wait a few minutes.
Should we stir it?
Occasionally. That's not a bad idea.
Work? Really? Guys in cooking. Wah, wah.
We do have to let it sit, so occasionally stirring.
How long is this supposed to take?
Up to 15 minutes.
Whew.
But the whole point is to make sure that's alive.
There are little bubbles. Oh my god, this is really exciting. Are they just floating up or are they really moving?
Both.
I'm totally bringing the camera over here.
Go ahead.
Because that's really cool.
Bubble it over, bubble it over.
It's like alive.
Right there. It is alive.
I mean, it's like alive and stuff though. Don't you think it's weird being a vegetarian and using tiny organisms to bake a thing that has no meat in it and then killing them?
I have a confession to make. I really like yogurt.
Apparently we're the kind of vegetarians that don't mind murdering small organisms. Oh, the bread's swirling. Oh, the bread's swirling. I have always thought that beer smelled like liquid bread.
It's exploding again.
Oh, that's exciting. Oh, check that out. Check that out, YouTube audience.
Basically what we just did is we gave yeast breakfast. Now it is ready to have lunch.
Pretty much the proofing is over, as near as I can tell, when it is steadily bubbling.
So now...
And when it smells like beer. Like, wow.
Yes.
If you don't know what beer smells like and you're an underage person, then you can get an adult to help you. Or a college age, or a sibling of age, we should say. Not a college age. Because not everyone in college is legally allowed to drink.
Alright. The whole point about bread is that it's a lot of waiting. You have to let it rise, you have to let the yeast do its thing. Right now, we're going to put in 4 cups of flour. And then we're going to let it sit. You can just pour it in. We have to mix it all together. It's raining flour.
Hallelujah.
for Holy Grail?
No.
Oh, wait,
you know
wait,
this. You
wait,
know
wait.
this.
Spaceballs.
Yes.
Awesome. All together.
Okay, with a fork, because we're men here.
Sure.
Just like I would mix anything.
Yes.
Am I gonna hurt the little yeasty guys?
No, they're gonna love it. Now we're going to make this gooey mixture. It's going to be like glue.
Okay, so do we want it to be smooth?
Smoother the better. You will not be able to get it totally smooth. You won't be able to get all the lumps out.
Maybe if you're using a whisk, like a normal person. Not everybody has a whisk.
Especially if you're a college kid.
Yeah, that's true.
That's really good, actually.
So this is about how smooth it is supposed to be.
If you don't get it that smooth, that's okay.
It's batter smooth, and you can see all the little air bubbles where the yeasties are going crazy. Yeast rave! Woo!
Yes.
Woo! Woo!
Yeast is having a party. We have to let it have a party for about 15 minutes.
Oh, so we give it a good time at least before it's time to go out.
So we're going to cover this with saran wrap.
Wiggle it out like a sheet on the bed.
Why?
Because that makes it pretty. So that it's tight.
So it's tight. So when we take the saran wrap off, we're really careful with it. We can save it for later because later on we will use the saran wrap to wrap the dough to help it rise.
That is the reuse in the
Yes.
reduce, reuse, recycle triangle. Reduce, reuse, recycle, watch June the Homemaker. Or subscribe to her channel.
So,
Comment positively on all of the videos.
so it's been 15 minutes about. We're going to remove this very carefully. And put this on the side so we can use it again.
Now it smells like bread and not just like beer.
So now we're going to add in a tablespoon of salt and the rest of the flour, which is another 3 cups.
7 cups total, folks.
Yes, this recipe is larger than most, but if you take a look at the recipe online, you can scale it down, so you don't have to do the 2 loaves, you can just do 1. Okay.
This is going to be the blob that ate New York.
Soon we're going to be kneading this.
I need you, bread. I need you like I've never needed anyone.
She gets lonely. While we do that, the bread can sometimes be sticky. We have some extra flour.
I've always wanted to be able to make a blob that can consume other living beings and indeed works of architecture.
That is going to get really thick and stiff.
Like now. What's your personal indicator for when you know?
When mixing with the fork doesn't do much anymore. It's going to mix with the hand. This is going to get really sticky and gooey.
This is what it looks like.
Hands work a lot better for mixing at this stage than a fork or a whisk or anything else pretty much. This is becoming a blob that is a blob and not specks of flour or unmixed other ingredients. Keep adding flour until it's not sticky anymore. Keep mixing it until it stops sticking to your hands. That's my rule of thumb. Put it in a little at a time. You can do it that way, I suppose.
You put flour on my foot.
I'm messy. Knead it in the bowl until it becomes an actual dough and not a blob. So you want to put flour in your hands. Don't put this in the sink. It's just going to clog up the sink.
Grab and twist.
Grab and twist. Grab and twist. Grab and twist. There you go.
Blah. June the Homemaker. But do you know about how much flour it is that you usually add in?
About another cup. The recipe doesn't call for that, but whatever. Well, in order for your bread to rise, the key thing is it has to be in a relatively warm area.
Hey, this is not sticking so much.